what are the sources? Let us try to keep the sources again very, very minimal. This is an area where students do have a lot of doubt as to what is the source that I follow. So try to be very keen in listening to this. And I'll just make the discussion very brief. If you see the sources, so for a beginner, so whoever is a beginner and who has no knowledge, say let us assume in Indian polity, there are few students who already done their graduation and post graduation before they come to the UPSC. But someone who is a beginner and who doesn't have any knowledge, probably I would suggest you to go through this NCERT book, Our Constitution at Work, 11th class NCERT, which gives a fundamental knowledge about the Indian Constitution, about the entire political system in our country. So basically, what is polity? Polity is nothing but the study of our political system, and our political system is laid down in the Constitution of India. So our Indian Constitution at Work is a very wonderful book. It is written in a very simple language. It tries to give you the idea behind the philosophies in the Indian Constitution, the various organs of the state, the legislature, the executive, the judiciary. You understand some constitutional bodies like Election Commission. You understand some of the bodies like local bodies, panchayat and municipalities. So it gives a very basic idea. But that basic idea is not sufficient for you to go through the UPSC examination. But that basic idea will make you familiar with certain key terms. That basic idea will make you familiar with the structure of the Indian Constitution. That basic idea will make you familiar with the concepts like fundamental rights, fundamental duties, and all those things. So in case if you're looking for the preparation, I would suggest that you can go through this book once. It is not going to take you much time. If you're already a graduate, it will take 10 to 15 days at the maximum, even if you read it at a very slow pace. All right. So that you do. And then in addition to that, you can go through one standard books, any standard book for that particular matter. The most popular book is the Indian Polity by Lakshmikant. That can be used as a reference book. It has a lot of information. Not everything is relevant. Or you can go with what is called as D.D. Basu, Indian Constitution by D.D. Basu. That's a wonderful book. But the standard of the book is little higher. So students, those who not got any knowledge in Indian polity, I would suggest not to directly read this book. First go through the Our Constitution at Work, and then probably you can read any of these standard books. And then the third important thing is that it is not that you can always rely on the book. So once you rely on the book, then you should take your own notes as well. And that notes should be a very crisp note, which means how crisp, it is up to you. But it should be a crisp note. And what should be the parameter defining your notes? The parameter that should define your note is that you should be in a position to understand them later. It should be as crisp as possible, but it should not be in such a way that you yourself do not understand what you have written. So it is basically for your reference. It is basically for your revision. So the notes are there. And then these are the three things probably. If you're part of any proper foundational courses, so the notes may be provided there. So there are also notes, you can use it. Otherwise, you can make use of your own notes. So when it comes to polity, you start with NCERT. Suppose if you have no foundational knowledge, then any of the standard book that I said, you can follow that. Then you can make your own notes. And then, of course, you'll have to keep your notes, get it updated on a regular basis. And then there is something which is called as governance. So for governance, I wouldn't suggest that you have to read a basic book, because governance is not something which is academic study, but governance is more of a practical application. Governance is what the government does. Governance is basically about how the laws are made, how they are getting implemented, how the policies are formulated. How do we make the system more transparent, accountable? How do we make the people to participate in the system of governance? How e-governance today plays a very important role in providing effective service delivery to the people. So this is more of a practical aspect. So practical aspect requires you to probably understand what is given in the syllabus, and using the syllabus, you can just make a little bit of research, and then accordingly you can prepare the notes. Now, I do understand for a beginner, it looks a very long thing, but as and when you get into the process of your preparation, you will understand how to do all those things. All right. So for governance, it should be your own notes with a lot of examples from the current affairs that is going to approach. All right.